All right, guys, what's going on? So we got I don't know if I would call it minor, but I would say it's major for the weapons, um, but maybe minor for the environment. Now, let's start off with major updates. Planetary hazards active. So now the environments are going to have, elemental offsets going on, that you see right here, fire tornadoes to meteor showers and many more. Which means that that's just, what they want to show you now. Obviously, when you go to different planets, there's different elemental aspects going on. So we're definitely going to be having more ways to approach levels now, which I think is good rather than just going through it, gunning down everything, and, going through the environment the way you go through it. I mean, it's already awesome, but this just makes it better and diversifies the game more. They're doing a good job, with the team that they have. And it's good to see that it's still on track. And there was also an article that was up saying that in the US the game is still selling well and almost, having a decent increase compared to the other week. I think this has a lot to do with the game being more stable. So it's good to see that. It's not really nothing to really cover at the moment, but it's just something to add in. But going down. They're balancing the eradicate missions. So if you don't know what those are, that's when you just want to kill like, a certain amount of enemies and then you get the hell out of there real quick. But my thing with that is that it kind of felt a little bit mindless and easy. And if we look and highlight, this right here, the time to complete the mission was previously shorter than intended and should now usually take twice as long to complete. That's a good thing because I kind of like those missions, but I just felt like they were just too easy to just steamroll through. So you're not there like you should be. Now there's some beef to it. And that doesn't necessarily make it harder to me. That just means that the mission has more soul and balance to it. So that's not a bad thing. Just nuking down stuff. I always kind of wanted to do that a little bit more. And I believe by doing that too, you're going to get more experience out of it as well. Though after you hit 20, you're kind of just like getting a vanity number. But I believe that they're gonna eventually add in more stuff with that. But priority is to fix everything first. Then when you have that, you can just functionally, consistently add in things, and you don't have to worry about, focusing on something like that when, stuff like crashing, disconnecting, is just insanely annoying. But they're doing what they can, and we're actually gonna get to that as we get to the bottom of this list. But right now, the game is definitely in a better position than what it was in a functional aspect. I think we can all agree with that. Now, going down now, let's get to the weapons. Primary, secondary, and support weapons. Breaker. Decreased the magazine capacity from 16 to 13. Increased recoil from 30 to 55. Let's talk about that. So when you're using a breaker, which basically was the most, overpowered weapon in the game, and if you don't want to say overpowered, at least the best weapon to use because the other ones just weren't on par to it. By lowering it down to 13 and increasing the recoil, what this means is that you can't just fire it 16 times in a row and keep reloading, or with support ammo packs all around and never missing. It kind of means you don't really need to have much conscious, awareness for this weapon. Right, if I'm just going in, unloading a shotgun consistently, and we know Helldivers has a sense of survival and realism to them. You can kill your teammates, things can blow you up. It has a great balance to it. But with this, it's not just boom, 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 reload, boom, 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 boom. Not really having to worry about aiming. Now we have to worry about the recoil. Getting animated for you guys. Worry about the recoil, and we have three less clips. So that's gonna make us more conscious of the weapon. It's not like the weapon got ruined because of this. It's just more like you're going to use it more consciously. And I think that's good. Now, going down to the railgun, decreased armor penetration in safe mode, decreased damage against durable enemy parts. I don't know if you guys remember, so if you have a railgun on a charger, you can just blow his legs right off in safe mode. Pretty easy. Now, there's some people that probably played this game that never knew about the unsafe mode. Basically, you can kill yourself with it if you hold it down too long, and you can see the meter charging up. But you kind of want to get it to like a perfect position or right before it blows you up, or even a little bit before that, you're still going to be doing more damage than what you would in safe mode. So they didn't add this in, but what one of the devs said was that if you go off in safe mode, armor penetration and damage against parts is better. They didn't mess with that, and they actually encourage people to now kind of take more risk with that, so that the railgun could be more in balance. So I don't think these weapons necessarily could be seen as like, oh my God, they ruined the weapon, they nerfed it. No, 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 no. It's more like they're balancing them and they're watching and monitoring. Now, let's go down to the flamethrower. I always liked it just because of the effects, and flamethrowers are fun. Increases in damage per second by 50% is huge. Now we actually have a variety added in to our repertoire. The flamethrower needed that, and I think that's great. So now we're going to see people using it more. Rather than everyone just running around, with the breaker, the railgun, the shield, and it's just kind of generic. It's like, come on, you need more diversity to your development. Laser cannon, another weapon I've always loved. I loved it in part one. Increases damage against durable enemy parts. That's amazing. Armor penetration, amazing. I always thought a laser is a penetrating weapon, so why did it have such weak penetration? And the ergonomics have also been improved. Great. So now we're going to see flamethrowers and laser cannons pop up more in the scene, which is good. Punisher, the capacity got increased by 20 and increased stagger force. So you have that increased damage from 40 per bullet to 45. So you have 20 extra bullets now with an increase of 5 damage per bullet. So we're talking about 6 times 5, 300 extra damage now added to the Punisher if you empty out that clip, along with more stagger force as you're firing it. That definitely makes a difference. So now we got Flamethrower, Laser Cannon, and Punisher. They're going to be more usable on the battlefield. Breaker Spray and Pray increased the armor penetration of that, fire rate from 300 to 330. Increases the number of pellets from 12 to 16 per shot, so you have an extra 30 fire rate with those pellets. And they move the magazine down a little bit. That makes sense. So, just looking at this, that's nice, right? Because now we have, more weapons to play around with. That makes the game more fun that you could experiment with, and that makes more builds pop up on the field. And then you could see the game being, as I said, more diverse, with the environments being more alive. That's good. I like this. Now let's go down to stratagems. Energy shield backpack. Increase delay before recharging. That makes sense because, it was just kind of too safe in that. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's really nerfed bad. No, it just means that it works the same. The shield is not any weaker. It's just that if you lose it, you gotta have to have a little bit of a scare there. And if you're good enough, you'll be fine. Definitely if you got other people that know what they're doing too. But there's going to be crucial moments where it probably happens. You're going to be like, man, it's just taking longer because your mind was used to that in the memory pattern. But I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing. I can understand what they're doing. They're trying to make other things also more useful. Orbital barrages, they increased the attack of it, but the spread kind of got nerfed down a bit. That makes sense. They kind of were OP in that sense. If we go down to the fixes, armor ratings finally, right? Because there was a bug with that. So those can work the way they work. Stalker's Nest bug holes, good. I'm glad that that's being fixed. Stalkers are assholes, we all know that. Um, Anti-aliasing toggle not working on PS5, cool. Balance lighting across planets, which I thought that was a little bit of an issue. Flashlight efficiency, good, because I like the flashlight, but I kind of felt like it was just kind of like usable, but it was like, you know what I mean? Come on, man. But now it actually has a better effect. So they're like focusing on things that actually matter. I like what they're doing. This is, a really good update. And all the rest of this stuff, a little bit of graphic stuff. Um, Helldivers standing next to ICBMs during launch will get properly toasty. As they're adding more realism to that, which I think is cool. I like this change to the bunker. So now you're not sitting there like hitting it and it's green and you're still standing there, right? No, they just kind of forced you to just kind of like let go and then you could just move on, which I think is cool. Camera no longer locked on the player's own corpse and blocking spectator mode. That's good. All the rest of this stuff, like I said, cool. Known issues. Let's talk about that. This is important for me, definitely as being, a streamer, broadcaster. Game may crash after dropping several high power stratagems in succession. I hate crashings. They're annoying. And then down here, players may disconnect during play. When they get those two fixed, that's just gonna make me so happy. I don't want to deal with any disconnecting or crashing. I kind of took a break from this game and went to go play Final. Gonna be spending a lot of time with that, of course. Phenomenal game. But this is a good update, and it's good that they're gonna continuously make it better and better, which we knew they were gonna do, but it's good to see what they're highlighting and what they're focusing on. And that's kind of what I wanted to cover about this. The update is also out on PlayStation, not just Steam, guys. So go ahead and download that. And I'll be coming back to the Helldivers world. I'll be in here for a while. Like I said, I loved part one. I love part two as well. And we're gonna be kicking some more ass. And then hopefully I run into some of you guys on the battlefield. And like and subscribe, guys, if you like this type of stuff. I'll be covering more things. And I'll see you guys out there. Enjoy your hell diving. Soldiers, peace.